I'm Dr. George Flynn, and on In-Depth TV today, we're going to talk about decision making. Yes, we've talked about having an idea and carrying through with your plan, but first you've got to make a decision to carry through with that plan. And that plan may be a good plan, may be a bad plan, but you've got to make sure that you have thought through your entire plan and made that decision. Because if you just think through plan after plan and just plan everything and don't do anything, then you've accomplished nothing. But the decision to do something is something that is key to everything that you want to do. Now, we've talked about that several times. You make that decision, you move forward, and you don't stop. And it's the key time to make that decision is when you know what you're doing, what the facts are, what's happening, what could happen in the future, and what the outcomes could be. Now, there's a big exception to all of this. When should you not make a decision? That's right. You know, we've preached this, we've practiced it, we've talked about it time and time. We've had program after program on making a decision and moving forward. You know, to decide means to cut off. To decide, that's the root of the word, to cut off other possibilities. So you've decided on one course of action. Now, I've sold you on deciding. And now let me sell you on not deciding. Well, not exactly not deciding. It's when you should not decide. And it's very easy to know a time to not decide. When you go to the grocery store, you've heard it time and time again. Don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Because what will you do? You'll buy much more than you need. You'll put thing after thing into your basket. And all of a sudden, you've spent way more than you want to because you're hungry. Everything you see looks great. And so you're making a decision there to buy something, even though you may not need it, number one. You may not be able to afford it, number two. But remember, how do we make decisions? Emotionally. That's right. We make decisions emotionally. So if you're hungry, your emotions are telling you, hey, go ahead. Now we rationalize them logically. And the way you say, I'm hungry, I need that big container of ice cream. And logically you say, well, I can put it in the freezer and I can eat on it for days and days and days. And then you get home and eat the whole thing. You know, but I know, you know, we do it all. We both do this. When else should you consider putting off a decision? When you're angry, you're in an emotional status of anger. And we know so many crimes and law-breaking type episodes occur when people are angry. When they're angry and driving fast, they'll run a red light or they'll drive too fast and either get a ticket or have a car wreck. There's road rage out there. People are angry. That's an emotion, right? It's an emotion. So you don't do something when you're in a heightened emotional status. When say you're lonely, and you might go out and do something, might go out and start drinking a lot, just at a bar, just to have some company, because you're lonely. You might do something, go on the computer and go on to some strange or bad websites. So you might go on to something where you get rid of that loneliness. You might go out and do something, with people you shouldn't be with because you're lonely. You want people to be around you. And that's an emotion, that loneliness. And you could fulfill it by reading a good book, watching a good TV show, a motivational TV show, or something happy, a comedy. Or you might do it by anything to get rid of it. Call a friend. Call a fellow church member. Just tell them, don't mince any words. Just say, I'm lonely. I'd just like to talk to you for a few minutes. And most people are not so busy that they won't take a few minutes to talk to a friend. Now, if everybody you call up says, I'm too busy to talk to you right now, maybe you need to upgrade your friends. Maybe you need to find people that are willing to have a two-way street. In other words, when they call you, now you be ready to talk with them. But when you call them, they're ready to talk with you and be your friend. So there we have it, lonely. What else? Tired. When you're tired, you just don't have the energy to make a decision. And decisions take energy. They do. What happens is, in the beginning of the day, you have this energy. Most people, if you get up early and you have this energy to make a decision. If you're a night person, you have the energy to make decisions when you first start work or first get up at night. But when you first arise, you have energy to make a decision. And decisions take energy. It takes brain power. A lot of your energy is mental energy. And so if you're going back and forth, your brain is using up a lot of energy to make that decision. It's been said that you only have, so many decisions you can make in a day, and then your brain cuts off. You just say, I don't care. Has that ever happened to you? Say, I don't care. Just do whatever you want to do. Let's do whatever we want to, whatever's going on. I've made enough decisions. I've had it. I don't want to make any more decisions. I just want to go with the flow. Whatever's going on, whether it's right or wrong, I'm just going to do it. And I've also often heard, I don't care if it's right or wrong, just do something. And that's when you're tired. When else should you not consider making a decision? That's right, when you're sick. When you're sick, you don't have the energy because your body is using most of your energy to heal itself, to fight the infection or fight the virus or fight the disease, whatever's going on. If you're sick, you don't have as much energy. And have you ever noticed you're tired? Because your body is using up all this energy to help you get well, and you wind up tired, out of energy. Just don't have the mental stamina to make a good decision as when you're well and healthy and doing well. So there we have it. We've talked about a lot of different things about decision making. When you should make them, first thing in the day, make your decisions, and make sure that you're not in one of these emotional states. Sometimes you can wake up in the morning and everything looks great and you can make a good decision. Sometimes. But be careful about blue sky decisions. When everything looks great, you think, I can conquer the world and I can make a decision to fly to the moon, say. I'm joking about that, but you can make a decision that is not a good decision for you. So make sure you're on a steady emotional state when you make these life-changing decisions. Now, wait a minute. A decision whether you're going to have eggs or bacon or hamburger or lettuce or salad or those minor decisions, that's not what I'm talking about. Those decisions, if you don't like your meal, you put it in the garbage and you get another one. But I'm talking about life-changing decisions or medium decisions. So let's make sure that we know the trivial decisions. Should I get this kind of gum or this kind of gum or this candy bar or this, water or coffee or tea or, carbonated drink. Those are different decisions. But if you've got diabetes or some disease where you shouldn't have sugar and you have one of these emotional states, you say, well, I'll just have something to eat. I don't care. You've been there. We've all been there. So let's summarize it for us and make sure we're making the proper decision at the proper time. How can we remember to make decisions at the proper time? Well, there's a little mnemonic. That's a word you can remember to help you know when to not make a life-changing decision. And this includes changing your will. This includes any big life-changing decision. The mnemonic, the word, is called HALTS. H-A-L-T, HALT, and I've added an S to it. H-A-L-T-S, HALTS. So you can remember, HALT, don't make this decision right now. You can make it later, but don't make it right now. Now, why do I use the word HALT or add an S to it? HALT stands for if you're hungry. Remember, we talked about if you're hungry. You're in an emotional state where your decision powers are not at their optimum, and you want to make sure that you have enough food and you've not overeaten and made a decision, but you're just satisfied and not overly full, but not overly hungry. HALT, that's H. Hungry is H. Angry, remember we talked about being angry? You can make real bad decisions when you're angry. You can do things that are self-destructive. And I've seen a lot of people do a lot of self-destructive things when they're angry. They make life-changing decisions, big decisions that change the course of their life for a temporary problem that they were angry about. So hungry, angry, and what's the L in HALTS? That's right, lonely. If you're lonely, you want to make sure that you're not excessively lonely. You don't have to be around people to make a decision, but you need to know that there are people out there you can call on. There are people out there that, as they say, got your back. So lonely. And what's the last one of the HALT is T, tired. If you're tired, you just don't have the energy to make a good decision. You might make a decision, and it might be the right one, but you're not sure. So let's remember HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Now, why do I add S to it? S stands for sick. Are you sick? And I don't mean anything, but are you physically ill? Have you had an injury? Do you have a physical problem going on? And if you're sick and taking some kind of medication, or if you're just sick, be careful about making a life-changing decision. So there you have it. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or sick, hold off on those life-changing decisions. Hold off. Remember, there's another day. You'll have another chance when you're in a more stable place to make a decision that can affect you and your family in the most positive way. I'm George Flynn. Thank you for watching.